In this episode, I want to talk about going with the flow and why I think it's a trap. Welcome creators, artists, smart professionals, and all those ready to take action and create a passion-centered lifestyle. This is another episode of the Creative Action Podcast. I'm your host, Bruno Flow. Let's unlock greater levels of flow, freedom, and fulfillment together. I'm an artist. First of all, I recognize it. When you are in it, going with the flow, it's great. And you are not forcing anything, everything comes very easily. There is beauty in this, but sometimes, I will say to you that sometimes it's not that good. Sometimes it might be one of the reasons you are not achieving the results you need to achieve. So there are some limits to going with the flow, with this kind of mindset of going with the flow. I will share with you my personal experience. When I was 24 years old, for 25, I was working on the trains as a street busker. I was a musician, a street musician. I was playing on the metro for a living every single day. I was playing 2 hours per day. And this gave me enough money to support my family and also to continue studying. But at some point, I realized that what I was doing was keeping me in survival mode. And if I had to continue going with the flow of what I was doing, I would still be in the trains. At some point, I need to make a decision to change what I was doing. In fact, it happens to me that I go to the trains right now and I see the same people that were in the trains when I was playing music there. I see the same people, which blows my mind. They are going with the flow, maybe, maybe they are thinking in that way. No, I should go with the flow. I'm here doing what I do. And don't get me wrong, it was great to play in the trains. I got a lot of positive emotions in the process, a lot of adventures. Playing on the trains or in the street, playing music, playing for people. You get a lot of beautiful experiences doing that. But I had to recognize that I wasn't getting the lifestyle I wanted to get. And at some point, I had to make a decision to change completely my approach. And believe me, this wasn't something that felt like a natural. No, it felt like forceful. It felt like, okay, this is a fucking mission. I need to do this. I need to push through this. I feel so uncomfortable. Okay, I know. I will do it. And that's how it looks. I had to do it in that way. And sometimes this kind of change, it happens because you decide to do it in a conscious way. And sometimes it happens because an external thing that you cannot control, like the pandemic, in example. The pandemic forced everyone to stop going with the flow. They couldn't continue going with their flow. They had to adapt to a very forceful situation. We didn't have any option. So we had to adapt or die. That was the pandemic situation. So you can choose to create your own pandemic and to stop going with the flow and to start going with your own true flow. Or you can continue going with the flow and wait until a new pandemic hits or until a new crisis happens in your life. So my proposal is that you don't wait until something happens, that you take a deliberate approach to change your flow into a more fulfilling flow, into your own true flow, not the flow of whatever is it that you were doing until this moment. Because maybe this is not what you like. Maybe you don't want to struggle with following a career that you don't love, with a relationship that you don't love, with a routine that you hate. Maybe you don't want that. Maybe going with the flow is the worst decision ever in this scenario. So this is a new kind of stream we are aiming towards. One that is focused on desire, on dreams, on creativity, on possibility. This will be about creating a new flow for you. And yes, you need to connect with your vision, with your desires, if you want to deliberately change your flow in a new direction. And I will share with you an experience I had in my first coaching session. No, the first coaching session I did, the coaching session I took. I won my first coaching session in a thank you to a Facebook contest, very random. And at first, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical because I was facing a huge spiritual crisis. I had like an awakening experience that left me in nothingness, in void, and I couldn't connect with my desires or with any motivation. So I won this coaching conversation, and I said, "These guys, they will not understand what I'm going through. This guy will not be able to help me." And it was a surprise to have that coaching conversation. I remember this question my coach made, and he asked me, "What would you like to happen?" Hmm. What would I, what would I like to happen? Whatever that I want? Yes, he told me. I was unable to answer that simple question. What would I like to happen? Hmm. I couldn't answer that. I was like 10 minutes trying to think. Okay, maybe I would like to, yeah, whatever you want. Only that question was life changing for me because it showed me that I was unable to just simply access to my desires, what I would like, to my what I like. So that was crazy. What would you like to happen? That question. And well, this coaching conversation helped me to reconnect with my desires and with my own criteria for fulfillment as a human being, as a human person that has a human experience. Because I was very in an absolute kind of place because I was too much into spirituality and I was very detached from my human experience. So this was a very useful thing to reconnect with my human desires in my own particular case. So this was different from going with the flow. Definitely, this was something different. And what happened after that was a huge transformation for me, in which I reconnect with my desires and I set up a vision for myself, which was about learning to code, learning to create websites and also marketing skills so I could work as a freelancer. This was my own way of changing my profession, and I stopped expecting from my career as a sound engineer to fulfill my financial expectations. Also, I stopped expecting to live as a professional musician. So this was a moment in which I had to rethink what I was doing, and it felt like I was redefining everything. It wasn't going with the flow. This was a moment of, okay, I'm going to evaluate everything in a deliberate way, knowing everything I know until this moment. What is true for me right now? So this set up the road for my true flow, which would be a flow that I define for myself, and not a flow based on uh, what other people thought it was the best for me, or based on my fears of going against the status quo or facing discomfort or uh, yes, of failure also. So I assure you that when you make the decision of going with your own true flow, your own purpose, your own desires, your own creative vision, things are more deep. They get more meaning, even though maybe you fail. Let's say you fail. You try it and you fail, and you try 5 times, 10 times, and you fail 10 times. It doesn't matter because you know you are making the best possible decisions, the best possible actions. You are doing your best. It is not because you are afraid and you are in the 9-5 in a rat race trap and you are afraid of making the move. No, you are doing the best you can. You know it. So there is no space for regret, and that feels great. Um, Also, you learn a lot. You learn 10 times faster because you are using all your resources to go for your dreams. So this true flow it's great. It's great, and that's what I want to help you to start pursuing in your own life and to start redefining for yourself. This flow includes planning, it includes a structure, it includes strategic thinking, it includes emotional awareness, and also a results oriented approach. This is not about doing things without thinking. This is about connecting your emotions with your logic and mind and taking action, bringing everything together into reality. So, well, I talk about this notion of going with the flow and what has been my experience with going with the flow, which it wasn't necessarily good. And I need to redefine what I was thinking it was going with the flow. I need to redefine it. And this is something you need to do also. You need to be aware that maybe this going with the flow narrative you're having is only keeping you stuck where you're at. And maybe you need to change your narrative. So that's the invitation for this. I wish you the best with whatever flow are you going through. If you want to change the current flow you are right now navigating, well, you can reach me out. We can have a call and we can explore your challenge, and what are the possible solutions, and explore how if we can collaborate on helping you figure out this and move you forward in a highly accurate way towards your creative vision. It was a pleasure for me to have this episode and to have you here listening. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are watching this video with my face. Also, you can follow on Spotify, iTunes, or whatever streaming platform you are using to listen to this podcast, so you can receive more high-level, high-value episodes like this one. And reach me out at Threads or Instagram because I'm very active on those two platforms. We can chat, we can share whatever is it that we're going through at this point. Maybe you are in your own self-development journey, you have your own questions, your own challenge. Let's talk about it. I'm open to that. So thank you for listening and wish you an excellent day. Listen, I have new spots available for you to have a free one-on-one clarity session with me. Go to brunoflow.com/clarity to save your spot. This is for you if you want to realize your creative vision in a faster, predictable, and supported way. I will help you gain clarity on your ultimate goals, your current challenges, and their possible solutions. Of course, if you're a good fit, I will tell you more about my service and answer any questions you may have about it. Go right now to brunoflow.com/clarity and secure your spot.